So I actually was originally auditioning for a different show, and thank you so much. And later got this call. I actually was on vacation in the Dominican Republic with my husband for his birthday in May, and I got this call, and they're like, "Can you Skype with the director of Showtime at the Apollo? They're bringing it back." But I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh my, I was more excited that Showtime at the Apollo was coming back more than that I was gonna talk to the director of it. I just was like, oh my God, my favorite show. I used to watch this every Saturday night. It used to come on Saturday nights, and I would stay up super late to watch it. And so just to know that it was coming back was one, exciting, and two, that like I could be a part of it was even better. So I actually set up my little computer, and I was like, oh, awesome, I'm going to get to Skype. And I did the audition literally in a bathing suit in the Dominican Republic, in DR. And I'm like, hi, I'm Adrienne. I'm like, I loved the show. I'm like, I'm here. I just came up from the pool. And I spoke to the director, and him and I got along well. And like maybe like 2 days later, they were like, you're going to be Steve Harvey's co-host for Showtime at the Apollo. And I was so excited, one, because it really is an honor to be a part of such an iconic show. This is like a legacy that they have, and to be a part of that is amazing. Two, that I was getting to work with Steve Harvey, who I absolutely love and admire. How many shows does he have? Oh, exactly. Yeah. He's the hostess with the mostest, literally. And three, that I was going to be able to go to New York. So literally I left Dominican Republic and flew straight to New York, where I got to be with my family. You know, I'm from New York. Being there with the whole familia and everybody, like everybody was visiting me on set. I'm like, Nana, come see the show. I'm like, actually, it's an actual show. You can sit in the audience. You can enjoy it. There's going to be incredible acts. Steve Harvey's hysterical. So literally, like every single day when we were filming the show, I had familia in the audience cheering and sometimes booing. It depended.
How does it feel to be like the first person that these contestants see? Because you're behind.
Yeah. It's nerve-wracking. It's exciting. It is inspirational. It's motivational, where like some people are super nervous, and my motivation speaker moment has like become better. Like now I'm back there like, you can do this, anything is possible. I'm like Bible verses, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. But it's fun. It's actually exciting. I remember being a little girl performing at the Apollo Theater myself for the first time. I performed there when I was 14 years old for the first time with 3LW. And I remember what that felt like, and being nervous that, like, they'll boo you. Hey, we did the Christmas special, and I had to perform a song, and I was like, they don't care if I'm a professional. If they don't like you, they'll boo you. They're super honest. And I was super nervous about that. But at the same time, they show so much love. And I think they recognize real talent, and I think they recognize what I love about the audience is that, let's say you don't have the best voice, they still will notice that you have star quality and that you're special. And I think even that is awesome.
And you know, oh no, you can go.
Okay. Yeah. So what does it feel like to be, I mean, since you watched the show growing up, Kiki Shepard was amazing for all those years, and you're pretty much the next Kiki Shepard.
Oh. Thank you.
To be in that lineup?
I loved Kiki Shepard. I would never want to be compared to Kiki Shepard, though, because she is an icon and she has, like I said, a legacy of her own. What I love is that this time around the role is different. It's very different in the way that I actually don't introduce the acts. Steve introduced the acts. I'm more so backstage with acts, finding out what's your story, where do you come from, why are you here, what's your passion, what makes you want to sing, what makes you want to be a comic, what brought you to this point, why does the Apollo Theater mean so much to you? And I think finding out those stories makes the show altogether that much more special, because now you're not just watching random, you know, fulana de tal sing a song. It's now like, okay, I get her story, I get who they are, I get why she sings, I get that singing is not just, you know, a hobby for her, but that this is something that gets her through. She's beat cancer, this kid almost died, and what brings him to life is music. These are real stories, and their moms and dads are back there rooting them on, and it's just really, really special in that sense. So I love that. Yes, I am the co-host of the show, but at the same time, my role is completely different. So I'm grateful for that.
And you know, you've been like in this industry from such a young age, from 3LW,
Yeah.
from Cheetah Girls, like I'm a fan, and now on The Real. And
Thank
congrats on your #1 Latin charts
Thank
album.
you. I actually found out that the
Yeah.
album went #1.
Yes.
Literally in the staircase of the Apollo. I was
Yes.
looking for the video that they sent me.
Traditions,
Yeah, I was literally back there, and they're like, the day that the album came out, I was on set. I was working,
So cool.
and they were like, "Your album went #1," and I was about to
Wow.
bawl my eyes out, but then I was like, "Espérate, I have to be on camera in 5 minutes. Like, I need these eyelashes to stay on." But it was a really special moment.
And
Thank
all those
you.
moments led you to now
Yeah.
on live TV, and you just keep on
Crazy.
evolving. And as a minority, as a woman who's married and wants to start a family, you're such a great role model, I just want to say.
Thank you.
And do you feel like that's pressure on you? Like, to live your life to a way so you can help others, so they can get influenced by you and all that?
I don't think it's pressure. I think that that's real life. I think even if you're not on television, you know, if you are working with, I think every single day everybody has a job to be an example to the next person. If you're on the train sitting next to somebody, be an example of a kindness. Walk in, smile. That person may look at you and be like, wow, she was really nice. She was really kind. There was a pregnant lady. She stood up and gave her seat. So I think we put too much pressure on, like, oh, you're on TV. Every single one of us has a job to be an example and a role model every single day. It's not just those that are on television. And I recognize that. At the same time, I don't put the pressure on myself to be perfect, because I actually think that there's a lesson to be learned in my imperfection and the things that I've done wrong. And I've done a ton wrong. You know what I mean? Like, there are sometimes even outfits that I look back and I'm like, girl, what were you wearing? that I'm even like, that was scandalous. Why did I have that on? And I look back at that and I'm like, I pray that there's a lesson to be learned, that it's okay to evolve. It's okay maybe not to dress that way anymore. It's okay to decide you want to be different. It's okay that if I woke up tomorrow and was like, that's not who I want to be anymore. I want to be better than who I was yesterday, to continue to evolve and get better and grow. And that to me is a great example and a great role model, is somebody who can point out where they went wrong and maybe there's a lesson to be learned from that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we should look at, like, celebrities and be like, oh, she did that, so she jumped off the bridge, so let me jump off the bridge. Instead, she jumped off the bridge and that didn't work out so well for her, so I'm not going to jump off the bridge. I think it's important to recognize that as well.
You know, you pointed out that the crowd at the Apollo is one of the most demanding audiences out
Yeah.
there. You've been there. And I think that's very much in tune with today's audiences, where they either love you or hate you on the moment. Instant gratification. You know, that could be a gift or a curse. We have
Instagram likes is a perfect example of that. Yeah.
So if you were to be on that stage again with today's audiences, performing, you know, Play's Gonna Play, how do you think you would put yourself in the right mindset?
I think it's the same thing that I put myself on a mindset when I open my mouth on the reel. There's going to be people that love what I say. There's going to be people that hate what I say. At the end of the day, my mom loves me. The people that know me love me. And I think that I always pray that people don't just hear my words, but that they hear my heart, and that I'm in a good place. Like, I'm not trying to say anything negative about anybody. I could disagree. I could be like, that was whack, but that's just my opinion. I think it's important that if I was performing a song like Play Is Gonna Play, that everyone isn't gonna love me. Like, I'm not for everybody. I always say that. It's like Jay said, it ain't for everyone, but it's for somebody. And I think even the artists that come on the Apollo, if they perform, if 75% were booing, there was still 25% cheering you on. Right. And you always have to recognize that you can literally go do a performance at a completely different theater where it's the complete opposite. They think you're the greatest thing they've ever heard. And that's important too. Every time isn't going to be your winning time. So I would remember that. I'd be like, yo, if they boo me off, they don't know what they're talking about. My mama sings, I sing amazing, you know?
I get it. You guys are on hallowed ground at the Apollo. And we're not going to name the other show on the other network that I believe wishes and aspires to be what this is going to be. How do you see this is going to be performing in the ratings? I feel like Fox really gives us a very raw, very real approach to their shows. They're putting women and minorities on the forefront of their lineups. And like my colleague said, this to be applauded. I want to know, honestly, this is history in the making. How do you feel about that?
I think it is amazing. I think it's important. I think it's groundbreaking that we continue to celebrate diversity on Fox. I think with The Real, with the majority-minority cast of The Real, it's never been done before. Obviously, now bringing a Latina into Showtime at the Apollo is a first ever, is huge. Yes. Woo! I'm like, yes, that's huge. But I think that also opens their audience up. You know, this is a family show. This is a show where Latinos are going to sit down and be like, she looks like me. And that is what makes my heart so happy, that, you know, there's representation for everybody. And I think along with that, like I said, it's a family show. I love the idea that this is going to bring families together. It's going to be the thing that everyone watches on, you know, on that night and be like, okay, we're going to watch, we're going to tune in, let's get together and watch, pop the popcorn, it's happening. But at the same time, that it inspires people to go after their own dreams. That, you know, there's going to be a little Latino in Arkansas, in freaking Arizona, that's going to be like, yo, I want to perform at Showtime the Apollo. I've never heard of this before, but I want to be there.
Or an Armenian.
Yes, Armenia, to be like, you'll be in Glendale, like, hey! You'll be there like, man, I want to be at New York at Showtime. Like, that's my dream. That will spark new dreams and a new generation. You know, growing up, my generation was like, Showtime at the Apollo was the ultimate goal, the ultimate dream, the ultimate venue to perform at. We are now going to be sparking new dreams and a whole new generation all over the country to be like, I want to perform at Showtime at the Apollo. Like, I've got a gift, I've got a talent. And I think that that's so exciting. And I think it's going to perform incredibly well because it's a family show, because it's inspirational, because it's hilarious at many times. Steve Harvey he's so funny. There were times where literally I was backstage and I'm like, my stomach hurt from laughing so hard. He's hysterical. Even in the most awkward moments where things could go so left, he makes it TV gold. And I can't wait for everybody to watch.
The showman.
Behind the scenes, like you backstage,
yeah.
All these different talents, people, do they ask you for advice?
For sure.
Can you give some?
Stay calm. My number one advice was, you've got to stay calm. You're not going to give your greatest performance if you're nervous. Nerves can't get in the way. Nerves make your voice shaky. Nerves make you forget the words. They make you awkward. They make you fumble. They make you drop things. You've got to get your nerves under control. So I think the number one thing, we're back there, we're just totally like doing breathing techniques, meditation, and a bunch of woosah. Like, calm down. So that's usually the number one thing backstage, is just getting everybody to calm down. And most of all, that no matter the outcome, this is an accomplishment in itself. Whether you win or lose is not the goal. It's that you're on TV, you're promoting. It's just the simple fact of, there have even been people that have lost on Apollo, like Lauryn Hill. Yeah. But the exposure is so huge that win or lose, you're winning. Yeah. Someone saw you. Maybe this audience didn't get it, but maybe there's a producer. Somebody watching the show is like, that person's a star. You start a fan base, you create a fan base. And I think that is so incredible about Showtime at the Apollo, that it's not just about winning, it's about the exposure. We're giving unknown artists, unknown comedians, unknown puppeteers a platform to do what they love to do, to put their talent on blast.
Is there any contestant that really surprised you and that's going to surprise the audience?
Yes.
Spoiler?
I'm like, spoiler alert, I can't tell. But I will say this. There are artists that, like, I actually never saw the acts before they went on. So this is something you don't know. Most people probably watching will think like, oh, she's seen them all. She knows who's good. She knows who's not. I've never seen them before. All I know is what they do. Sometimes I actually don't even know what they do. They'll walk up and I'll be like, what are you doing today? And they'll be like, okay, I'm singing. I'm like, that's great. I can assume how it's going to go. I think even the audience sometimes is in shock. I think, I can say this part. We actually had an Asian artist who got up there, and I'm not gonna lie, I was concerned. The look, I was like, I don't know how this audience is gonna. I think that automatically they're gonna be like unsure of him, and you just gotta see how it turns out, because it literally takes such a left turn. And there's so many moments like that in the show where I'm backstage with them like, you got this, you're amazing. There have been people that I'm like, oh, they're gonna kill it, and then I'm like, where did this go? This just got really weird. And then there's total opposite where I'm so unsure. I'm nervous for them. I'm shaking backstage as they're walking down the aisle. I'm like, I don't know what the reception is going to be. And the audience ends up loving them. Or they open their mouths and it is pure heaven. And you're just like, what? This doesn't make sense. And it's awesome. It's those moments that make the show really special. It's the shock. It's the surprise. It's the reaction that just makes it awesome.
We have time for 2 more questions.
With shows like The Voice and The Floor, how do you feel the Showtime at the Apollo, this new rendition, will do or set apart from those shows?
I think it's going to do incredible because, like I said, it's a family show. But more importantly, I think it's completely different from any other show because the judges are the audience. Like, this isn't like you got paid $1 million quadrillion to be here to say whether we like you or not. This is, I don't have any money set into this. You know what I mean? Like, as an audience, no one paid me to be here. I came here because I love this show. I'm in the audience giving you raw opinion. I'm giving you the honest of, like, I liked it, I didn't like it, maybe this wasn't your best day. And there's something to be said about that. I think that's so unique, that's so organic, that's so original, that's so Apollo. And I think it's going to turn just that whole genre upside down.
Thank you for watching Muse. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to see all of our upcoming videos.